Good afternoon, Cliff Stanwick Real Estate, and I'm here to talk about probably a super important video for people that are selling their home in South Placer and the Loomis Basin. It's targeting better buyers, and I think we can all agree that the Bay Area buyers were a big factor in buying a home last year, and a lot of local buyers were basically squeezed out. So what I wanted to share is last year, all my listings were sold to Bay Area buyers. And I pretty much copied the template that I learned when I was working down there at a startup in Palo Alto on California and El Camino Real. It basically was, I joined Silvar and I learned about what they were doing to get their houses ready. And I also was up the street from De Leon Realty, and I think anyone that knows that De Leon made his claim to fame selling a $100 million house one time in the area. Anyway, so I wanted to learn how houses are successfully sold and marketed, because it's outrageous. I spent a lot of time down in Airbnbs, and I couldn't believe that houses were going for hundreds of thousands of dollars more than the list price when the market was hot. And well, how did they do that, right? How do you literally go out and the house is sold the first day with a ton of offers and the deals don't blow up? Okay. Well, they do it pure and simply by showcasing the house visually online, and also having a complete information package on the house, from disclosures to invoices to all sorts of stuff that basically, think of it like a Carfax and a warranty history report for a car. They do everything to showcase the house online, and then they give potential buyers all the documentation to make a decision about how much they want to offer and what they're buying before they make an offer, which is totally different than how we do it in the Metrolist MLS, which is the MLS that serves the area I work, again, South Placer County. We basically go into contract, and then we have 17 days of inspections, and sometimes they go well and sometimes they don't. And sometimes there's a lot of surprises that, again, cause all kinds of problems when a buyer is buying a house from a seller and they all of a sudden find out that they've got, a problem with rodents, or they have, $50,000 worth of deck repair, right? So I'm going to basically kind of walk through and share my screen here, and we're going to go look at typically what is going on. So the first thing I wanted to share with you was that basically, where are these buyers coming from, right? When the whole point of this video is targeting better buyers. Well, as you can see, this is a page off of Redfin.com. This is a Market Insights. I'm doing Roseville, but you could very much also do Loomis, and essentially the searches are, specifically to the area, right? Like San Francisco, they're not talking about, Hillsborough or Pacifica. It's San Francisco. So these are metropolitan areas. So, Loomis and Roseville and South Placer, Rockland, they all fall in there. But what I'm trying to share here is, if you look at the numbers, there's about 15,000 out of area searches, and almost 14,000 of them are from San Francisco. So again, how do we target these better buyers? And obviously they're buying houses that are like the house I'm going to share with you. They're buying houses, they're selling houses, I should say, that are like $4 million, right? So again, I wanted to show you this listing. It's been on the market for a while, but you'll see the market in the Bay Area is pretty slow. And this is a typical listing. The first thing is there's always professional photos, but and we'll get into that. But the first thing you do is you'll notice on this thing it says attached docs. And when you click on attached docs, it takes you to a disclosures URL. And if you get to the disclosures URL, you end up basically getting a disclosure package. And when I mean disclosure package, I mean everything. Okay, I mean this is essentially a cover sheet which talks about how to make an offer. These are all the disclosures that are essentially in the that are MLS, from SPQs and seller property questionnaires and everything on it. There is a home inspection report. There is a pest inspection report and any findings. There is a roof inspection report. There's a hazardous disclosures, like this will tell you if it's in a wildfire zone or all that stuff. There's the preliminary title. There is the CC&Rs. There is a parcel map. There is a floor plan. There are basically people that have worked on their houses. There's a cleaning estimate that they did when they cleaned up the house, like they spent money to get it ready. There's a combined work invoices. There's a landscaping invoice. They changed the locks. They show you an invoice. There's the landscape estimate because they probably think there needs to be better landscaping. And then, since this listing mentioned in the appraisal, there's an appraisal and there's a building sketch, right? And then, of course, when you get a house like this, right, you get a video, all right, and the video that you get is basically, I apologize for this, I had to go back because I was looking at another video. You get a video on the house, and it's a cinematic tour, okay? It is not just a plain Jane, video slideshow. It is a full-blown cinematic tour of the house, and this one, I think it runs about over 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 7. But that on Vimeo alone, there's been 435 views of it. And then when you go to Redfin, of course, you find out that there is a video tour, there is a floor plan, and again, these are professional quality photos, right? And this is the type of stuff that is done for a Bay Area buyer. And the sellers are all used to having that information when they sell their house. So you have to keep in mind that people are selling their house and then they're buying a house, right? So they've gone through this. So now they come up to Placer County and all of a sudden they find out there's no home inspection, there's no pest inspection, there's no roof inspection, there's no disclosures, those haven't been done. And so you may have this beautiful house online, you may have all this cinematic stuff, and you may have everything, but now they realize, or they walk around and they see a few things, and now guess what? They don't want to renegotiate. The one thing about Bay Area buyers is the ones that I've dealt with, they make a deal, they live up to the deal, and unless there's something that came out of the inspection reports that you didn't have an answer for, like there was a huge issue with the house and it needed a repair and you didn't have a quote available, that's the type of stuff that makes these deals kind of go sideways, right? So again, right, just to share with you, and I'm going to kind of move back here a little bit. I am going to show you the fact that there's 59 houses for sale in Palo Alto right now, but there's 3 pending houses, and I'm going to kind of make a point here. I'm going to redo the settings here, and share my screen again. and this is now Palo Alto, and there's pending. There's 3 houses. And I think you're going to see why you need to do this type of work. So there's only 3 pendings. There's 60 houses. That means there's 20 months worth of inventory in Palo Alto to sell. All right, just doing the simple math of 3 divided by 59. There's 1 pending house in 8 days, and it happens to have, no surprise, it happens to have, and I'm clicking on it, this is a $4.79 million house that was built in 1911, and it sold in 8 days. And I'm trying to see if there was multiple offers. Something, I don't know if they mark them here or not. But anyway, it sold in 8 days. So what was the first thing, right? There was a disclosure URL, and I did not go out and request the documents for this house, okay? But that is, the first part. The second part is they have, and this is another thing they do, they have a virtual tour. And what they also do, which I do as well, is a virtual tour branded and a virtual tour unbranded. And that's so that they can share this stuff with their buyers, right? Now, Compass does a great job. They also do something which I do as well, and they have a virtual tour for the house, but they have another cinematic movie for it, and it starts off, it was 2 weeks ago, and it just goes through, and it's, essentially it had 95 views, and of course it's gone now, and that's just part of it. But one of the things they do is they built a website for the house, and of course the house has a gallery, a virtual tour, a 3D tour, a floor plan, a site plan, features, locations, and schedule. So when I sell a house, I build a website, and it has the video tour, it has the 3D virtual tour, it will also have floor plans, and if you'd like to see one, I can show you. I don't do a site plan, which would be like the parcel. I don't do that, but I do have a list of features, usually in the description or usually in the disclosures. And this also has a map, and mine has a map as well, and there's also a way to schedule the property. And this again, right, this is how you target better buyers. In the process of selling your house, and you want to target better buyers, you literally have to give them everything. And that is pretty much what I've adapted in my own listing process. They get a cinematic video, they get a 3D walkthrough, they get a certain amount of pictures. The MLS says you can take 99 photos. There aren't 99 great photos of your house, and no one's going to sit there and necessarily look at every one. The 3D Matterport allows people to walk through the house, even with augmented reality, like a gamer. The floor plans allow people to see the size of the rooms. So again, to target a better buyer, you need to have a complete story about what you're selling. And I did this whether the house was $680,000 or the one I sold for $3.7 million. It's just what you have to do. And I sold houses very quickly, and even when the market slowed down, I got houses sold in less than a week. And that's kind of how you have to do it now in this new market. So I want to tie this up and say, if you want the better buyer, if you want these 14,000 people that are driving around South Placer County, that's how you have to market your house. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to discuss them with you and point you in the right direction and share with you some of the websites that I've built and some of the history if you're really, really interested. That's what I do, and I just want to share with you, targeting better buyers comes with basically doing all the work to engage them, to give them any which way they want to see the house, from twilights to drones to cinematic videos to photographs, to giving them all the inspections and disclosures, whether they want them or not. We're talking about a very tight market now, and you can't afford to miss any buyer that wants to buy your house. So with that, I'm going to end this video, and I want to thank you for your time and wish you all the best, either selling or buying a home in 2023.